Okay, let's talk about the events today. Currently, there's two different types of event in the game, and at this moment, both of those events are going on. So, if you see on the bottom right-hand side a countdown ticker, that's where the events are going to show up. Now, if you're not quite 90, you may be in a different type of event than everyone's talking about. Basically, you'll be in a event until you're 90, and then give or take 2 days, you'll be in the higher events. Just make sure you use those tokens before the countdown ends. Typically, the ability to get the tokens ends 24 hours before the event actually ends, so that you do have time to spend those without losing them. Now, we have the red event here, and we're going to call this the spin the wheel type event. Basically, every time you spin the wheel, you have a chance to win these things horizontally. There's some pretty good prizes in here. And as you actually get the tokens, you'll get the roll rewards that accumulate here. Of course, the lower are the better items, but you'll have to play pretty hard to get into those. The roll reward token basically is times 5 for 500, so it equates to, if you have premium, about 10 rolls for every 20 hard levels that you do. And in this case, just to give you an idea of how this works, I should be able to get all the way up to the 1200 range to get the Wild Redder card. And we're just going to go ahead and put this on one of the items. There's a couple of good things in this scenario, so let's see what we get. That's what looks like a good one. And there we go. This is what we ended up with. And so we did actually get that all-purpose gear across the top. Go ahead and take. Now don't forget, you actually have to take on the bottom as well to get those rewards. And there we go. Now we still have a couple more items that we can actually get on the spin the wheel rewards. I believe there is a limit on certain type of cards, so yes, there's a check mark on this, so you can't win that one again, but we could get the spell amplifier on the next round. And from here on, we're just adding to that 1211 that we already have to get further down into the event. Of course, this type of event actually has an ad at the top if you want to advance further. And this pretty much just gives you some more information on the top question mark as to the event and when it ends. Now the other, and to play that event, basically anytime you're in this map, all of your PvE, all of your mines, your league resources, all of those will give you 50 if you have premium every time you win a round. That's how you get the tokens for those events. They also pop up in the chest as well at 100 tokens. Now the other event, I'm going to call it the sandbox style event, because if you click on it, it actually takes you into a different map world where there is only one map, at least in this one that I've seen. Basically, there's a little more to it. You'll want to read the instructions, so to speak, on each particular map, but you'll notice that in the bottom right, we now have a red chest and a blue arrow. If you click that blue arrow, it just takes you back to your regular map. But the red chest, if you click on that, it gives you information about the event. Now, currently the way these work, if you win 10 hard levels, nothing changes. You would still be on, say, I'm on 325 right now. I would still be on 325. But if we click on that and win 11 rounds, when I would come back here, I'd actually be on 326. So basically subtract the first 10 levels, and every hard level after that, it goes up. Now, every day it resets, and you can see here at level 325, mine's going to go down 60 to the next day, so that way I don't get stuck on too hard of a map. If the next day's map is too hard, I can actually still play that. Of course, you have your ratings, and those in the top places will actually get a chevron in these type of events. They're purely cosmetic in this event. Now the shop button, actually is different in these. If you see at the top, your token has now changed from keys to this type of events tokens, and this is where you'll spend those events. Now, to point that back out once again, it's the red chest is how you get to these type of events to spend. Now, in this current case, I have 7,700, and I've been looking forward to this card, so we're just going to buy that, and it is now purchased. Just like the other event, you get 3 free updates, and it actually stops on that card. I think it's been sitting there for 2, maybe 3 days, so that's a great style. Find the card you want and just kind of leave it there until you actually get the right amount of holly. But once you do that, make sure you hit that free update so that the ticker starts, because it does stop at the 3rd update. So at least now I know it's probably counting down 3 hours to get that 3rd free update again. The great thing about these events is you can get the really hard to come by things, and you can choose what you want. You won't get quite as many things in these style events, but you get very good quality. Whereas in the other events, until you get to the bottom, you get the quality, but you're getting a large quantity of things, especially when you spin the wheel. You get those extra heroes for fusing and things like that. So that's pretty much the difference. They're both good. They both have their meaning. You just have to think a little bit more about the sandbox events, where you want to be, because as you get to different, every 50 levels or so gives a different amount. As you see at the bottom here, a different amount of holly at these certain levels. So make sure you look in the info and read that, because on average it jumps about 6 per every 50 that you go up there. So sometimes you want to jump at that 200 to 250, depending on where you're comfortable. Now, quick info, you have 10 energy on these. If you click on your tree, you'll actually see you have 10 energy. Now, there'll be a little plus when you have 0 energy. That will give you, for 70 stars, it will give you a full 10 energy back, so that you can farm that level if you so prefer. Some players, you may do the first 5 energy, 10 levels at a time, and then move up from there. Depends on where you want to end up. You could do 12 at a time, the first 5, and just kind of figure out where you're comfortable, figure out where you want to be. And every 24 hours, the map will change. You may see the same map again after it changes. Perhaps restart the game. Then you should get that new map if you don't want to play the same one more time until it resyncs. You can always get more energy and get a new map every day in that case. And it is the same map for everyone across the board. That should be pretty much how to play the events, and hope you guys enjoy, and I hope that answers a bunch of things for you guys.